Hey, everybody. So I hope you guys are all doing great and having a wonderful Tuesday. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the whole concept of being a technician in your trade. So, being a technician means that no matter what industry that you come from, you guys are all taught to do the same thing. For example, as a registered dietitian, I have a certain way we were to do certain things. It's how we get paid from our insurance payers, and it's how we do what we do, right? To registered dietitian service. And same is true as a physical therapist doing what I do. There's a certain way that we all do things, whether it's a setting up a private practice, doing what I do, there's same things that we do. There might be some skill sets that we pick up all along the way, but all in all, at the end of the day, dogmatic approaches to doing physical therapy a certain way is really heavily dictated by our trade association, like the American Physical Therapy Association. The third party insurers or payers are willing to pay, complete with certain ICD-9 codes as well as CPT codes for our services. All that to say, it's how we conduct business as we know it. That makes us a technician in every which field. Pilates, same thing. We utilize some apparatus. There's different types of brands that we might use, and we might have been trained from a different school of thought. But at the end of the day, as a practice and how we get paid for what we do across the board, this is how we do things. What I want to make sure that you understand is rather than just trying to fit into your respective trades, I want to open up and expand your mind to the possibilities of thinking outside the box to incorporate the missing pieces of the puzzle. For example, if you're in health and wellness, in which case, whether you're a yoga teacher, a physician doing functional medicine, holistic medicine, acupuncture, naturopathic, physical therapy, whatever it is that you do, you're in the business of health promotion, which means it's in your best interest to make sure that your clients have all the tools that they need to conduct and do whatever it is they do to optimize their lives and their health. And oftentimes we isolate health in its own category, but our health is largely determined by our whole life, right? Really, it comes down to three different key things. Number one is your wealth, your health, and your relationships. Three key factors that really affect human health are these three things. Because if you have poor relationships with your family, with your spouse, with your kids, it's going to wreak havoc. Stress goes up. When stress goes up, it creates havoc in your endocrinological system through what we call HPA axes, which ultimately affects your brain and endocrine system. And when stress kind of has a day with you in your physiology, then it opens up a can of worms in your enteric nervous system. It's your gut brain axis to create gut permeability. And that in turn, over time, will create increased inflammation. And over time, too much toxins coming at us because of the less than tight junctions in our enteric nervous system or our gut lining. It's going to invite more toxins to enter our body, raising our immune system. And if your immune system gets fired up over time, it can have an autoimmune effect, which means it starts to turn against you. Whatever the cycle, you have to understand your health is not in its own category. It's not about what you eat minus everything else that's going on. You have to consider your financial state, because if your financial and your wealth state is in a crisis, it's going to also affect you negatively, because you're not going to be able to afford the healthy foods or a gym membership, yoga membership, whatever it is that you need, even clean water, right? So you're always going to be stranded or strapped for cash, and that's going to mean negative things for your health. And so health in itself is not about doing Pilates and yoga. What about those people, relationships and financial issues, or have a lack of this balance, right? That all comes down to your relationship with you or the person's relationship with themselves. Knowing this, we have to recognize the fact that in school, we're taught exactly how to do and be and follow the rules, but it doesn't work that way in the real world. Clinical representations or manifestations of different dysfunctions that we were taught in school looks very differently. There's a whole lot of messiness in the middle that we can't classify. Yet we're so busy categorizing, naming, and coding so that we can be matching what we do, our service CPT codes, with the ICD-9 codes, so that we get that recognized, matched up so, and it gets increasingly more complex every year in my field to try to get this paid through our third-party paying system. But again, that those kinds of inefficiencies needs to be looked at in a whole different way. Because at the end of the day, we were taught to be smart technicians. We're not really encouraged to think outside the box. We're fed what to think. In just about every field that I got into, whether it be psychology, physical therapy, registered dietitian, public health, Pilates, yoga, or even functional medicine or Ayurveda or traditional Chinese medicine, they all have their respective ways of doing things. But what I found was when I was able to think outside the box and dare to pull practices from each of these fields and made it my own and inclusively called it the Alkaline Method, you guys, my patients are getting tremendously well, and they're getting the benefit of this pulling together all the confusion pieces together. The fragmented medical system now becomes a cohesive, holistic system or a method by which I begin to make sense for my patients. Gone are the days when you have to practice what you do being a technician, because technicians can only go so far. It's not so black and white, our human lives, right? And evidence-based practices that's being touted in our field is overrated. There's so much we don't know in human experiences, human genetics, and human abilities that you have to pull together all the elements in the Alkaline Method. There are 4 essential elements in the Alkaline Method. One is subconscious mind. Second element is the conscious mind. Third element is the modern medicine piece. Fourth element is the timeless wisdom piece. And it revolves. It's a continuum, and it's a continual spectrum, and it's a self-healing journey. We must adapt a mindset, right? From a struggling technicians or struggling health technicians to powerful healers. And that's the identity shift you and I must make so that we can make our lives a lot easier and we really show up loving what we do. Because you and I, if we don't love what we do and the impact that we're making in the world through the work that we do, then it's always going to be marginal, and the impact and the effects or the results that we create for our clients, it's going to be really marginal. We have a comprehensive system called the Alkaline Method, and it's by which we adapt and apply from day-to-day lifestyle that we can teach our patients to apply every single day and grow and evolve with the system in this cohesive method that finally makes sense of all the messiness in our respective fields. It's the final big puzzle that comes together that makes it whole once again. And it brings it puts the power back in the lives of our patients and our clients rather than them being disempowered to depend on us. And it becomes a very sick cycle of dependency when we operate this way. It's a good business model for the sick care system. I don't know about you, but I'm in the business of really promoting health and wellness for the people that I serve. So if this is of interest to you, I want to invite you especially to join me in my private Facebook group where I have elevated conversations about all the innovative ways where we can approach utilizing the Alkaline Method in our functional yoga medicine private group in Facebook. So hop over there, join me there. I'll place a link below. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you tune in for more next week, and I'll see you guys all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.